Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Guy Blogs MMA and Wrestling Podcast. Your host here, Orlando Rodriguez, and today I'm going to have a special guest because we're talking WWE. Now, we're going to be focusing today on talking about the new talents coming in from overseas. We're going to talk about Shane O'Mac, his match at WrestleMania itself, and what figures to be the main event and co-main event of the evening. That would be Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar and Triple H versus Roman Reigns. You want to know the rumors? You want the results? You want to geek out over MMA and wrestling? You need to listen to the Guy Blog Podcast. All right, guys. So welcome to another episode. Like I said, we have a special guest today. Lando Reyes is back on the podcast. We're going to be talking wrestling. Lando, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Orlando, how are you?
I'm always good, always good, always happy to be recording. So, are you up to date on everything going on in WWE?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, just not the last SmackDown, but I'm pretty good on Raw.
Well, you're better than me because I don't watch SmackDown. And the only reason that I'm thinking of is because of their new announcer, just because he honestly is awesome. He's very old school.
I've heard a lot of good things about him as well. Like everyone keeps praising him a lot.
Yeah. Mauro Ranallo. There we go. And just for those guys that don't know who Mauro Ranallo is, he's actually a legit announcer, huge wrestling fan, but he's actually like legit combat sports, boxing. He's done Mayweather's matches. Like this guy is the real deal, and he's doing a great job.
Yep. That's pretty good for business.
A lot of people talking about him that he should be moved over to Raw, and that might be the case. Hopefully sooner. Michael Cole actually is who we have to thank for getting Mauro into WWE.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, okay. He set it up. So awesome. I mean, thank him. And you know, Michael Cole can't be doing that. He could, but not forever at the pace of nonstop every week in and out traveling.
Hectic.
So if he ever wants to take more of a back office, or if he wants to trade and go to SmackDown to get a lighter schedule, that might actually be the catalyst that gets Mauro Ranallo into the main event that is Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay, that'd be awesome. Now, let's start right off the bat, and we're going chronological because the main event is WrestleMania. So before we get to that, let's talk about these new talents that, I mean, I've talked about it on theguyblog.com, and I've commented on Twitter, and I follow everything just like everybody else. But
which, by the way, kudos on the page. I really like what you guys have been doing the past couple of weeks. Good.
Yeah, we've been updating everything, the look, the feel, getting everything. You know, we want this to look like it's actually a legit page because it is, instead of just a hobby. But thanks, I appreciate it. It's taken a lot of work.
Yeah, I know.
You're my WWE guy, but also the guy that I have working with me was a mutual friend, Miguel. He's actually going to be recording with me, talking MMA. So, guys, that's something to look forward to.
Look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, you and me, we're very cordial, we're very nice, and we're very professional. Me and Miguel, we have a closer relationship, and
yin-yang kind of deal going there.
A lot of yang. But it is awesome, and I do expect everybody to enjoy it. We have chemistry when it comes to this, but yeah, we're very close friends, and like close friends do, we tend to argue. So it'll make for an interesting show.
Yeah, it should.
To say the least. Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So we have the new talent. AJ Styles being the first of that New Japan wave coming into WWE. And very interesting, the fact that AJ Styles, well, he got to stay with AJ Styles.
Yeah,
He got to keep
it's
his name, the
yeah, he
names
was
of his moves, his outfits, everything. He
yeah,
has new music,
pretty
but I mean that's the least of it. And it's actually even that sounds like he got music that if it's produced by WWE, they actually made sure to do something that's completely different than what you hear for every single other superstar. I mean, it's very laid back. It's very cool. I like it a lot. It's my favorite walkout song right now. But it's just so different. It tells you like right off the bat, this is not your proverbial WWE guy or your outsider being turned into a WWE guy. He's being treated like his own entity so far. What do you think?
yeah. Yeah, I think they're doing really good. He was the biggest free agent in the Indies. He was doing great in New Japan Pro Wrestling and all the other circuits that are available. I believe he was in Ring of Honor
He's
for a
been
bit,
everywhere.
and TNA, I believe he was for
Oh,
a while.
he built TNA. He's what WWE refuses to say is this is one of TNA's building blocks that they got. I mean, in all the promotions, whenever you hear them talk about AJ Styles spent some time, working in Florida, Florida is
Mhm.
TNA. Do
Right,
not get it confused. They just don't want to mention them by name.
right.
It's it's
It makes sense. He kind of ripped them in an early interview when one of the Ross. He was comparing the companies, the different companies.
yeah,
Obviously, they're gonna say that WWE is like Major League Baseball, which
yeah,
is that we've heard before, but he kind of ripped a little bit on TNA. Apparently, he
yeah.
didn't leave good terms.
Well, I mean, it's actually smart of him. He's not gonna say. He said basically everything else is minor league. Japan is Japan, so he didn't say it was bad or good. He said it's an equal, and then
Mhm.
he said, but this is the big leagues,
Yeah,
and it's a good way to ingratiate yourself with your new employers. I'm sure Vince appreciates that,
yeah.
and being a smaller guy, he needs to do everything he can to get on Vince's good side because unless Triple H is in charge, Vince is just too hard to get him to push these smaller guys in the main event,
Yeah.
regardless of talent.
And he's
And
probably one of the better things they have on the roster right now. I mean,
oh, he is.
the match with him and Jericho, which I have to say high praise to Jericho as well, which he's
Oh,
doing a lot of veteran quality work. He's carrying the young guys and teaching them the ropes. And but that match was probably the best match of the night for Fastlane.
it was like that match, and I said it in the previous episode that I haven't published, but once it comes out, because the sound is a little wonky, so it takes a lot of work. So that might come out before this or after this, but it is about Fastlane. And I praise that match. To me, if it's not match of the night, at the very least, it's a match that fans, wrestlers, people that are thinking of getting into wrestling, that I think that's a match they need to watch because what Jericho and AJ did, especially Jericho,
Mm-hmm.
very good at telling a story in the ring by their
Yeah,
actions, very good pacing.
yeah. He
Jericho
really
pulled out a few classic moves.
Jericho really knows how to work a crowd. Like
He
he's got him
does.
by the tongue.
He does. And if you have followed that feud or
Mm-hmm.
so-called feud, Jericho, when he comes out to do announce work, he's done a very good job of building up AJ
Yeah,
without putting himself down.
yeah. That's what he does. He elevates his opponents. That's what he
Yeah.
does.
And a lot of these young guys could learn from that. I mean, the fact that he's been very respectful, he's been very, how could you say, he's been very not coy. He's been very present and very aware of the fact that everybody in the WWE universe might not know who AJ Styles is, and they need to know that he's
Mm-hmm.
at my level without it feeling like I'm putting myself beneath him or that I am straight up saying he's at my level. I'm just saying he is awesome, but I'm still better than him. And it's a good way to do it. A lot of guys don't know how to do that. Everybody knows how to go about their business with what I would call the Stephanie McMahon method, which is you're a piece of crap. Everybody knows you're a piece of crap. I think you're a piece of crap. And therefore,
putting down talent.
yeah,
It's not great.
That's what she does. And a lot of guys, that's the hint they take. They think that by saying that somebody else is so bad that automatically that makes me good. And that's not how it works. It's, well, if that guy's so crappy, when he beats you, wow, you really are a piece of crap. You really suck. I mean, how else do you want me to take it? Because Jericho, by the way, is not just doing it to sell AJ. He's selling himself because the better the AJ is, if this guy beats me, I got beat by a great guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to build. That he's a phenomenal wrestler.
Thank God.
And that's something that I believe Paul Heyman does a lot. You know, when his promos.
Yes.
He never puts down talent. He elevates even, you know, like talent, like I don't know, you want a Dean Ambrose case, which is not probably not the top guy. He's one of their top guys, but not the, you know, their guy like Roman Reigns is. But he keeps putting him on a pedestal, and it works. And his promos prove it.
Yeah, and he and we will talk about Dean Ambrose a little later on, but it's a good point. He makes sure that the opponent always has something that he goes out there with a plan to point out about what makes them a viable opponent. Oh, this guy is too small? Well, but he's scrappy. He has a lot of heart. Oh, this guy is too fast. You know, well, this is a brick wall he's going to run into. But he always has something that he makes sure to point out in his opponent, because he knows if this is so great about my opponent, well, that just makes Brock Lesnar so much better for beating him, you know?
Yeah,
because nobody wants to pay as much as you might think. Nobody's going to pay just to watch Brock Lesnar destroy a guy that we all think he's going to destroy. We want to see somebody that has a chance to win.
Has a chance, yeah.
Yeah, and
a real
kudos to Paul Heyman. He does a great job at building guys up. Now, talking about that,
business, definitely.
Yeah, what's best for business? Well, talking about what's best for business, that takes us to the new talent acquisition that's going on. Getting back to it, we're talking also Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of strong style, that just got signed to WWE. I mean, do you know a lot about Nakamura?
I've only heard a little bit, but I've heard he works like kind of like a Brock Lesnar type of deal.
He's that would be right. He's the type of wrestler he works stiff. So he's got elements of CM Punk, of Daniel Bryan, and of Brock Lesnar. He works stiff, which means he hits hard. And he does it. I mean, he's got this charisma about him that, like, every description you find about him is basically the same things. Mix Michael Jordan with Michael Jackson with somebody else, with CM Punk, and you have Nakamura. And that's what it is. If you see the guy, there's something about him that's innate, that you just see him and you want to see more. And when he wrestles, he's very unorthodox. His style, like his presentation, is different. Think, not quite Finn Balor, or, not that type of style with the pain and everything, but think of the showmanship. He's got that, like Pat. Like, this is basically, even Jim Ross has gone to say, if they can't make Shinsuke Nakamura work in WWE, they should stop hiring outside talent. They can't make anybody work. This is a sure thing. This is as close as you can get to a sure thing.
For someone to get over, like, really for sure, that's probably one of their safest bets.
Yeah. And he works a strong style. If they don't let him be stiff, they're going to have a problem on their hands.
Yeah, I think I heard someone on the Jim Ross, I think it was Mark Madden, talk about that acquisition, that they need to let him be his own style, work his own style, and really keep him the same way he's been working all his career.
Yeah, completely agree. Now, more interestingly, and we're going to step away from Nakamura. We got to wait. He did sign already. He's starting out in NXT. And just of note, Nakamura, they have all these Japanese talents, and it gives them a little bit of problem to get them to cross over because of language issues, and they don't speak English. Nakamura speaks perfect English.
That's really good.
He can cut promos in English. So that's not going to be an excuse. He can do his job right out the gate. But moving on, we have Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, famously of Bullet Club, coming on over. Now, this is the best big man team in the world right now. The best tag team of two just big guys. And they've been doing like phenomenal work, pardon the pun, over in New Japan. And they're coming over, but that usually by itself, it's like a so-so deal. It's not the greatest news. Like, it's okay. Yeah, they signed 2 more guys from New Japan.
Yeah, but am I correct? Like, they have almost all the guys from the Bullet Club now. They have both of them. They have AJ Styles, which was also there. And Finn Balor was also there just before AJ got in.
Yeah.
So I think they have a pretty good club. I don't know how they're going to work it. They probably don't have the rights to use the Bullet Club name, but they should be able to come up with something interesting.
No, they have Balor Club. So basically, this is how it went. Finn Balor was the leader of the Bullet Club in New Japan.
And he was a heel.
Yeah, he was there. He was the boss. He was, they're kind of like a heel group, a heel faction, but everybody loves them. So kind of NWO like or DX. Yeah. Now, they once Finn Balor got signed by WWE, by NXT, AJ Styles had signed with New Japan right around that time, and he became the leader of the Bullet Club.
Right.
So, and now he came over, and now they have, I believe, Johnny Omega, and he's the new leader of Bullet Club. But Bullet Club over there is getting huge. It was becoming like the NWO towards the end, where everybody is part of the NWO. But Gallows and Anderson, along with Finn Balor, are basically founding members of Bullet Club. So this is getting the core.
Right.
And what they're getting with that, even if they don't have the rights, even there are rumors that they do or they don't, or they have licensing in the U.S., is that they've been building the Balor Club. So
Finn Balor is pretty over, so that probably could work. The only thing is
Balor is a baby face.
Yeah, and a really over baby face.
Yeah. So, but he's been putting down like on Instagram, Twitter, a lot of hints about Bullet Club coming over. There are rumors that maybe they'll come over, or at least theories that maybe Anderson and Gallows come in and they guarantee some victories for Balor, and Balor doesn't want them to cheat or anything, but they do it anyway because they feel they owe him a debt. He's their leader, and even if he says that he doesn't want them to cheat, they'll do it anyway just to assure that he stays number one. So that's one theory going around.
Yeah, that should be fun to watch.
Well, the good thing is that whatever happens is we have a faction that's going to be coming in. It's going to have international appeal right off the bat, and the possibility that this could be a faction that has power. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, an anti-League of Nations of sorts.
Right. Yeah.
Lord, I don't even want to talk about them.
League of Nations is, wow.
That is the saddest thing I have seen in a while, because it's, wow, talk about a bandage. That's what they are. They're a storyline bandage.
The only couple guys that are getting a bit of the best from that are maybe just Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus.
Yeah.
But, Wade Barrett is supposed to be, he's rumored to opting out of his contract. Like, they're not gonna.
They opt him out. They opted him out.
Right. So he's probably going to go, which I feel is probably better for him since they haven't booked him right. And he can be quite a heel. When he was doing the bad news,
he's great on the mic. he
when
can
he was
end up.
doing he was doing
There's a lot
great
of good
with Thaddeus
promotions
Barrett.
in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
but if not, maybe New Japan or Ring of Honor. He'd do
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
You
he can
know,
do great.
somewhere where they're willing to basically shine a spotlight on him, give him a mic, and let him do his thing.
Yeah,
Because I'm one of the people that thinks that he got injured too much. However,
yeah,
so does Randy Orton, and he gets pushed every
yeah,
single time, and that guy gets hurt ridiculously. Besides his real injuries and some rumored fake injuries,
yeah.
Randy
But
Orton is
thi-
out a lot.
this last one is supposed to be serious, so
Yeah.
that's what we're hearing.
Well, let's see what happens with that. But it is very interesting to see WWE hiring people, or Triple H pushing for people that are basically bringing an outside faction in, that are
Mhm.
bringing a different style to WWE, or at least to NXT. So it's really interesting to see what happens. And it should all start, well, this week, or if not, right after WrestleMania, because all of these
I think
guys,
that should be
Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, their contracts are up end of February, so they're done. They're ready to come over. Yeah, so it's really interesting. Now,
really good stuff.
what do you think? I have high hopes. My highest of hopes is that they keep most of these guys in the NXT, where Triple H reigns supreme. That's my hope.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing they can do for at least for the beginning, and then maybe put him over like on the main roster.
No, I don't want them there. I don't want them in the main roster. You know
But
why?
only, yeah, I know.
Vince McMahon is in charge of that roster, and
we've seen what has happened with Neville, with what has happened with what's his name, the pretty boy,
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze, which is kind of a joke.
You remember the most dominant tag team in NXT?
Right, and they're like low level card right now.
They're jobbers. They're freaking jobbers.
Yes,
they put them with Stardust for a minute, and then still jobbers.
Yeah, and then I think the social outcasts are even more over than them.
Yeah,
which is pretty sad.
It's sad, but you know what? Jobbers. At least with the social outcast, you know what they are. They know what they are. So that's cool. But with what is it? I don't remember what the heck their name is, and I don't want to. I'm not even gonna look it up. It's not worth it. That's how bad they're doing. By looking at them, I could have said, "Don't call these guys up. They're not ready," because they were dominating in NXT, but in the roster, the main event roster, Vince McMahon is not gonna take a little guy with no definition and a tall guy with no muscle definition that looks fat and wears his pants way too high and push them as a top level tag team. Like,
yeah, but their gimmick is good. I don't know. I mean, like,
but there's a look that Vince McMahon likes, and honestly, there's a look that we kind of expect. They're not scared. They were huge in NXT because they were big in NXT, like physically bigger than almost everybody. But you move them up, and they're not that big when it comes to Raw. They're not the biggest guys by far.
Nah.
They're barely middle of the pack. So they would need more to actually be at that level. So it's sad for them. It's sad for us, but it is what it is. I hope that Vince McMahon starts noticing that Triple H needs to have more control. It just needs to happen.
Hopefully soon, or at least that I don't know. We're not sure what's going to happen with Shane.
Yeah,
Shane McMahon. Hopefully that brings them some new breeze to creative.
Here comes the money.
Hopefully something good. Hopefully something good. Let's see.
Money. Yep, Shane O'Mac is back. My lord, what does that say for the WWE? Shane O'Mac, 6 years gone, is back. And he's back for a match at WrestleMania versus The Undertaker.
Versus none other than Undertaker.
I was happy to see him back. It was very unpredictable
Yeah,
But
yeah.
versus The Undertaker,
That's gonna be something
there's so
unpredictable.
many holes in that. I don't even know where to start. There's so many issues with that storyline.
Yeah.
And fine, he wants to come back. Yeah, he got Vince out of some problems that he got himself into, and he's holding something over his head. We're still good. I'm still good with that storyline. He bailed him out. Still good. He went to do his own thing. Still good. He wants control of Raw. Still good. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Vince doesn't want to give it.
Better.
Yeah, Vince doesn't want it. Doesn't want to give it to him. Still a good storyline. So he's gonna ask him to be in a match against somebody to be able to take over.
Right.
Still good with it. And that somebody, instead of stretching this out over a couple of weeks,
it's the Undertaker.
We're 5 weeks away from, well, at that time 6, from WrestleMania. So you could build this. No, that night, right away, that second, the Undertaker. First of all,
the Undertaker hasn't said anything about this. We're waiting to see what the angle is going to be.
Undertaker's not a heel. Is he a heel? He's not a heel.
I believe not.
Undertaker doesn't work for, Vince McMahon in the sense of, he's not gonna be part of a ploy. Like, he's not down to get used for Vince McMahon's advantage.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna pull that one off.
So we need the Undertaker agreeing to this, saying, "Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool to screw Shane McMahon for your benefit." That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. Second thing, what? Shane versus Undertaker at WrestleMania? John Cena is not coming back when that happens.
No, he's not gonna be ready yet.
Well, you know what everybody's talking about? Everybody's talking about that he will. But maybe he will.
The Undertaker doesn't make any sense either.
Well, I mean, it's a legend versus legend match. Vince McMahon really wanted it. And at this point, that WrestleMania match with Undertaker is just a formality. Nobody needs a storyline. It's just, have a cool match. It's WrestleMania. Undertaker's here. So, nobody anymore expects a storyline with the Undertaker. Everybody knows he's coming back. He's going to wrestle WrestleMania. That's about it. This year they got a couple of extra pay-per-views out of him, but that's basically the gist. He comes in for WrestleMania versus somebody that we would think it's cool to watch him against, and that's it. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's one of those main attraction, kind of like a Brock Lesnar kind of deal, which he's
and he gets his $1 million or $2 million a year for it. So God bless.
He's a legend.
Hey, listen. If you tell me I have to drop off a cage once a year for $1 million, show me where the cage is. Teach me the best way to take that hit, but show me where the cage is. You have medical? You get to cover it? Fine. I'll take that leap. Because, my Lord, WrestleMania. And that brings us to WrestleMania. The most unpredictable WrestleMania ever. Because everybody's hurt. Even the Shane match with The Undertaker, the rumors are that Shane might be a placeholder. And that he might find a way to get out of the match. And somebody fights for him. But we don't know who because everybody's hurt.
Yeah.
John
Cena's out. Randy Orton's out. Cesaro's out.
Everybody's out. Everybody is out, and it's it's a thin locker room as is for main event guys. A lot of storylines, and then everybody's hurt all of a sudden. It's not like they don't have good wrestlers. They have Kevin Owens. They have Dolph Ziggler. They have Cody Rhodes, aka Stardust. They have people that they could have very interesting storylines with at this time.
Yeah,
but
Alberto Del Rio also. I mean, why put him over Cena and then put him down
and then League of Nations? You're a piece of crap.
Oh my God! I mean, he must be frustrated.
No, he's not. He got a lot of money for it, so he's whatever. And
I heard his deal is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and every other week he's not wrestling for real. So hey, get more money, work less. Look good on TV. That's it. Great. Yep. Heck, by the time this deal ends, he'll probably still be in good enough shape to go back down to AAA or go over to New Japan or Ring of Honor and still get some more money if the WWE doesn't give it to him. So he's good. He's set, and based on the terms of how he left the last time, he knows what the WWE is. You know, he knew coming back what his deal was going to be. So he couldn't have come in with high expectations of, I'm going to be a world champion, I'm going to dominate, I'm going to be the number one. He knew that his best bet was, I'll be John Cena's enemy for 3 to 6 months. That'll be my earning extra money for that period of time. And then the rest is just, I got a really good deal. I'm getting paid. So screw it. But WrestleMania, looking weak. I just heard
they're going to wrestle the New Day, isn't it?
Who?
The League of Nations.
Who? This is how bad it is. And I was talking about it in that episode that has yet to come out. WWE their booking is so atrocious that I'm starting to think that maybe they're just being original, because we're getting baby faces versus baby faces. We're getting heels versus heels. So no longer is it good versus bad. It's good versus good, bad versus bad.
Yeah.
So, you suck versus you suck. Like, it's just, I don't even know what they're doing. No clue.
Yeah.
So, like WrestleMania, for example, sucks about as bad as Roman Reigns' run as a main eventer.
Yeah, we got to talk about Roman Reigns. I don't know what they're going to do with that guy.
Yeah. Well,
the option is pretty clear, but they're not ready to pull the plug. I mean, Vince is pretty stubborn on keeping him being a babyface when he needs to be a heel. I think he would be a great heel.
Yes, he would.
He's getting booed all over the place.
Steve Austin said it.
Yeah,
Steve Austin said he needs a heel run before becoming a babyface.
Yeah, he needs it. And he would be good. I think he would be good at it.
I think he would excel if you would let him go out there and you to give him walking orders. Roman, everything people do, you don't give a shit. Screw him. You're here for your paycheck. He would pull that off in a heartbeat. He's like, oh, so just be me? Let people know how I really feel. Just be myself. Awesome. And people would hate him and eventually love him for it.
That careless attitude always goes over.
No, and it goes over with somebody that genuinely means it. Like, for example, you know who else doesn't give a shit? Brock Lesnar. Good or bad. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'm here to get paid.
Yeah, but he does his thing at least.
But he's allowed to destroy, and he's out there saying, I don't care.
And they protect him.
No, and they don't let him talk.
Yeah. No, he doesn't want to
grab a mic to say anything more than 3 words.
Yeah, I'm going to kill
you. Got it. See you then. Deal. That's all he can say. He can't say more than 3 words at a time.
Yeah.
Everything else, Paul Heyman, do the same. Give Roman Reigns like a 5-word limit. Any promo, he can't say more than 5 words. He can huff, he can puff, he can stare down. Tell him, you can't smile, you can't smirk, and you can't say more than 5 words.
Oh, please don't smile. My God.
That freaking smirk is what's killing him.
Yeah.
It's destroyed him, and he doesn't get it.
Yep.
Like, his character right now is to the point where you feel that
pretty cartoonish.
That if they talked about his family, he'll basically like smile and say, hey, good job insulting my wife and kid, the most precious things in my life. I get what you're doing. I get it. And I'm going to destroy you for it. But hey, good job, buddy. And it's like, dude, you are not John Cena.
And it's pretty bad. They're not, unless Vince has some kind of ace under his belt that we're not aware of, and he's going to pull it off on WrestleMania, which I can only hope. But Triple H is not being. He was a heel on WWE, but he's obviously a babyface on the NXT.
Yeah,
because he constantly is pleasing everybody.
No, we love him. We all love Triple H for NXT.
And every time he comes out, it's like he's a babyface, and now he's doing the suck it thing, and like you can't be any more babyface than that right now. As hard as they're trying. You know
what the main problem is?
Yeah,
Roman Reigns has his issues. Mm-hmm. They're being this stubborn with him.
Yeah,
the main problem is going to be their benefit, and it's what's going to hurt them the most, which is Triple H understands the Roman Reigns character. He understands what it needs to be and what it is right now and what it takes to get him to be that main event. He knows as a wrestler, not only as a decision maker, but as a wrestler, he knows what it takes in the ring to make Roman Reigns look good. On TV, he knows what it takes. Remember, when was the last time that Roman Reigns got cheered? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
It was when he got mad at Triple H and the Authority, and he destroyed Triple H, destroyed him for 15 to 20 minutes at the end of Raw, where he slammed him, destroyed tables with his body, threw him against the stairs, left him beaten and battered.
Acting like a heel. He needs to. And it
doesn't matter. It was like he's a good guy because it's not a heel. This is where the difference is. Even if you want him to be a baby face, he needs to be a badass.
Yeah, that we can agree. Yeah,
and he's not. That little smirk, that's not badass.
Yeah, I mean that Superman punch. If it were up to me, I would remove that from his arsenal. I mean, like the Superman punch is not doing him any favors.
That's Superman punch, but he needs something like Cena. So he's got the Superman punch. Fine, but he needs to be a badass, and he keeps getting screwed over, and he just takes it, and that's the problem. That's why the smirk doesn't work. It could work. It could. I hate it, but it could work. But it only works if he's a badass that takes action, and not in the future, not at the pay-per-view. Immediate action. You screwed me at the beginning of Raw. I screw you at the end of Raw. You screw me at the end of Raw. At the beginning of the next Raw, I screw you. Why? Because that's what Stone Cold Steve Austin did. That's what The Rock did. That's what even Mankind did. That's what every believable heel or babyface badass, and Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, he was a badass too. Why? Because they would do what they want to do, even doing it goofy, like Mankind and Dude Love and Cactus Jack. He was still able to get booed or cheered however they wanted to by their actions and by the fact that this guy could take care of business. Yeah. And we don't know that with Roman Reigns because he'll destroy Triple H and everybody was cheering because it wasn't because, we're on his side. It was because, oh shit, look at this badass. He's destroying him. Is anybody going to stop him? Everybody was like, oh no, he's going too far. That excited us. And since then, Stephanie talked shit about him. Paul Heyman talked shit about him. Everybody, he's kind of like a walking mat that might have like some poison on it. So everybody just steps over him. And every once in a while, somebody steps on him barefoot and ends up poison and he kills him. But it happens every other month. Like that's too long in wrestling time. Yeah. For me, this is his last chance. If he does not get over for WrestleMania, he's done. He cannot be considered main event until it happens naturally. They can't keep forcing it. Vince McMahon has to have a limit.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
2 years of WrestleMania main events with Roman Reigns, and he is not the guy.
No. It's been like this since last year's Royal Rumble.
And the other problem? Right. Why I said that their biggest benefit is going to be what hurts them? He's going versus Triple H. Triple H is actually going to make him look good. He's going to make him look amazing. Yeah. And that's going to make Vince McMahon think, he crossed that. He grabbed that brass knuckle. He did it. No, Triple H is doing it for him. Triple H is telling him to keep going. Triple H is letting himself be destroyed for the benefit of Roman Reigns. But if Triple H isn't there as his opponent, what the hell? Roman Reigns doesn't understand what type of destruction he needs to leave in his wake. He doesn't understand that he needs to freaking, just break every rule and say, I'm doing whatever it takes to win. I don't give a shit. Yeah. He doesn't get that.
Yeah, that's why they need to turn him heel. If Roman wins the belt, which he's probably going to do anyways. Yep. And he's still a baby face, the fans are going to boo the hell out of him.
Listen, if Vince is smart, he'll turn him and make him part of the Authority.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they need to come up with some sort of storyline for that. But yeah,
No,
yeah,
it'd be perfect. They can turn him. They can say that after all this time, he's tired of getting screwed. He understands what it takes. And, he's the best wrestler there anyway. So who cares? He's going to line up with the authority. He's going to make his money and make it as the man. And anybody that has a problem with it can come after him. And you know what that would set up? That would set up for Seth Rollins to come back as a baby face.
Yeah, Seth Rollins can do anything, man. He can be a great heel, great baby face.
Yep, it would set him up perfectly, and it is time for Rollins. Rollins has been gone long enough. Mm-hmm. It's perfect for him to come back as a baby face, and with a heel Roman Reigns, it would be perfection for WWE.
That should be money. Yep.
And that takes us to the surviving or the only member of the Shield that we haven't talked about, which is Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar.
Right. Yeah. The match that is a big disappointment for a lot of people. Although exciting for some, incredibly. I've heard a couple of people, like even Stone Cold mentioned it on his podcast. Like he was glad because Dean Ambrose has the crazy character right now.
Yeah,
is the what is it? They call Asylum.
Yeah, the Lunatic Fringe.
The Lunatic Fringe, and it's a street fight, which everything goes, which probably means that he's gonna have a lot of toys available.
Well, Dean Ambrose in the Indies, that's what he was known for street fights and hardcore matches. Yeah,
so it could be interesting.
But they're not selling it. They're selling Ambrose as this guy that just likes to. He's a masochist right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing.
Such a bad sell. I don't even know what to say about it.
I mean, like, okay, you're gonna get beat the hell out of you, and you're still gonna like it. I mean, okay.
Yeah, and no time are you gonna stop it, or no time are you gonna be like, and the fact as soon as they mention street fight, like Ambrose right off the bat, I mean, he can't get a sledgehammer, but he should be walking around with a kendo stick or something, with a 2x4. Every time that Brock Lesnar and him are close, he should be hitting him with something that in any other time would be illegal. Just showing at some point in these 5 weeks, at some point, Ambrose needs to leave Brock Lesnar laid out in or around the ring. And because it's a street fight, he should do it with chairs, with anything. Mm-hmm. But just to show, crap, he has a chance. This whole Brock Lesnar breaks him and he's still talking, so he'll still talk more shit. That doesn't work because he's looking too weak. Not weak, too weak. And we look at Brock Lesnar, look at Dean Ambrose. You know that he's the smaller guy. You know he doesn't stand a chance. You don't need to sell us on Brock Lesnar can break him whenever he wants. We know it. We want to see how does he have a chance.
Yep, that's what we need from them. To sell the storyline. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it should be interesting. I mean, like, this is not the worst case scenario.
No, that's not for a Brock Lesnar match. It's not the worst. Honestly, they could have done much worse.
Oh yeah,
we have the League of Titans now, or the Titans, or I don't know what the hell they call them. Big Show, formerly Big Show, Ryback, and Kane. But did you see that Ryback walked out in the middle of the match?
Yeah,
I decided I don't need to team up anymore.
Yeah,
you could have decided that like 20 minutes before the match.
Look for myself.
And
feed myself. Feed me more.
I swear to you, like they should give that boy like just a piece of beef jerky that he walks around with all the time. Because
I wouldn't mind seeing him, like someone like him against Brock. Like he's someone that I don't know. He's not really a good worker. At least he's improved, but not the best.
Yeah. And now you hear everybody calling Goldberg because of how he's dressed now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not good. Not good.
Like him.
But I don't know. He's not charismatic. If anything, I would say the WWE right now needs more managers. They have Dutch, but they don't use them. They've got him away from Alberto because he joined the league. They should put him with somebody else. He's a great talker, and they need more managers. They need a couple of stables with a manager, with somebody that's a mouthpiece for 2 or 3 guys. They don't have it right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. More of a Paul Heyman kind of guys.
Now, if you think about everything going on, and we have still like 5 weeks to WrestleMania, any matches you want to see, anybody you surprise entrance, or like, what do you expect? Because we have 3 matches set, basically. We have Triple H and Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, and Shane O'Mac versus Undertaker, unless they switch up the Shane part and get somebody in there somehow. But for now, Shane versus Undertaker. Anything else you want to see for WrestleMania?
Yeah, something I'm actually looking forward is the women's division. I'm not gonna say the divas.
Yeah,
it's kind of condescending, but it is what it is. But I'm actually looking forward to see Charlotte against Sasha or Becky. I mean, or even like a triple
threat. I think it would be a perfect thing to have a triple threat with the 3 of them. I'm actually hearing rumors that they might actually do 2 Divas matches on the main card of WrestleMania.
Yeah, which I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, they have the sufficient talent to pull that off.
Yes, they do.
They've been doing it on Raw and SmackDown every single week. And I mean, they got the women's division is looking good. If they pull off, like I heard someone say, like if they push a match like someone like Bayley, which is really, really over, against like this monster heel Charlotte, it would sell a lot. But I don't think that's gonna happen this year.
That's not for this year.
That's probably gonna be for next year.
Yeah.
But
it might even be for next year, Bayley versus Sasha.
It could be. It
would be a great match.
What I hope is that they get Becky Lynch what they deserve. They have a depth for her, and she's probably one of the best workers, like one of the best female workers. She's kind of over. She's gaining the crowd. She's got a hot entrance.
Yeah, she's starting to she's building up. Definitely.
Yeah, she's looking good. I mean, like, and I don't know if you remember, she's the only one of the 4 main gals from NXT.
The 4 horsewomen of NXT.
The 4 horsewomen, yeah, that didn't win the championship.
Yeah,
which I mean, totally unfair. She's probably, in my opinion, she's probably the best looking one, and but she's also a pretty good worker, and her gimmick is pretty cool too.
No, she's the suplex queen right now in the women's division. So, yeah. I mean, I that would definitely be the triple threat is what I'm pushing for instead of the 1-on-1. But either way, I think it'd be a treat.
Triple threat would be really cool.
It'd be really cool at WrestleMania and a triple threat and a solid 15 to 20 minutes to work. I think would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, having said that, I mean, we got to talk again soon, but that's going to wrap it up for today with basically catching up what's going on WWE. We'll talk in a week or two about how everything is looking on its way to WrestleMania. As we get closer, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes going on and a lot of surprises to come because
hopefully,
Shane O'Mac coming back and not even a whisper of that being let out before he showed up on Raw.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Vince McMahon is doing everything he can to save this WrestleMania. They want 100,000 people in that stadium. They want to break records. So they're going to do everything they can. So it's going to get very, very interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk again soon. Once again, thanks, Lando. We really appreciate having you on the podcast. And I'll have you again in a week or two. We talk a little bit more wrestling, see what's going on. Right?
Of course, my brother. Yep.
Well, let people know where they can follow you.
Yes, I'm at Instagram at Lando Reyes B, and B as in boy, and at Twitter at Lando Reyes. You can follow me at any of those social media accounts.
As always, leave a comment. Let us know. Go on iTunes, rate this podcast, and you can Twitter, Instagram at The Guy Blog, or Orlando at theguyblog.com. Guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. Take care.